Welcome back, everyone. We are ready to move on to the next roof that we're going to put in, and we are going to work on this dormer. And so starting at page 347, and we're going to add it to our connecting hall roof. All right. So one of the things I want to highlight is that with these three roofs, you can see that Revit can't necessarily deal with any set of math that we throw at it. And quite frankly, the math here is not that complicated. However, whatever logic or algorithms that the modeling uses, it can't deal with this angled cut and trying to match up peaks. So if your peaks don't match with a completed roof, there's a good chance that your walls aren't equidistant apart. And real quick, I want to highlight, after I had closed the last section, the textbook pointed out that your walls may be peeking up through the roof. And I had attached my walls to the roof and everything looked okay. It may not have worked out in your file. So what I want to highlight is the textbook asks us to modify the joint between our walls. So let's go through that. So textbook asks us to navigate to level 1, and we're going to look at and possibly modify these wall joins. So in the modify tab, we have this command over here as we're modifying geometry of wall joins. So I'm going to click that. There's a whole bunch of options here, but they're all grayed out, and they're grayed out because I haven't actually selected a wall join area yet. So if I come and hover over this wall join, I'll click on it, and now of course all of these options are black, and I can do that. You want to make sure you probably see a butt joint. You want to change yours to miter. And even while I'm in this command, I can come down and pick my next join area, and you want to change it to miter. Pick the next area and change it to miter. The fourth area, of course, and miter it off as well. And so then after you've completed that, I'll hit escape a couple times. Then you can go back to your 3D view and make sure that you attach your walls to your roof, and then your walls should go below your roof and not stick through. So let's go ahead and add this dormer. We're going to modify this middle section of roof, and so I'm going to navigate back to level 3. Okay. I'm not going to add a dormer as a new roof, and the textbook doesn't ask us to. We're going to modify this existing roof. So of course I'm just going to use edit footprint. And so here we have this line that defines a slope. So our roof goes from level 3 up at a slope of 912 until it reaches an area where it's a peak. And so what we want to do is not have this whole line rise up to meet the peak. We want in the middle here to do something completely different. So to prep that, we actually want 3 lines, not 1. So what we want to do is split this line into 3 pieces. So I'm going to start in this area over here, and as I progress up the wall, I get to 4 feet, and I want to click to split. And I'm going to execute the same idea over here. I'll hover over my corner and move away until I arrive at 4 feet, and I'll execute a split. Hitting escape a couple times, and if I select the middle line, it still has a slope. I'm going to turn the slope off, and notice, right, I have 1, 2, 3 lines, all defining this roof piece. I'm not sure what would happen right now if I hit the green check. But so to add this dormer, we are going to define some slope arrows, right? Same thing we used on our shed and the same thing we used on the roof back on the west main section of the building. So you can kind of see that this is a tool we're starting to use. So I'm going to click slope arrow. I'm going to draw this line, and I'm going to make sure I start at the end point where I split and come down until I hover over and find the midpoint. And I'll click to end at the midpoint. And I will add another slope arrow starting at the end point and ending at the midpoint or end point of the other slope arrow. So I now have two slope arrows. So I'm going to select them both and adjust my properties. So they're both selected. I want to control the slope, not the height of the tail. My offset should be 0. I want my slope at 912. I'm all set. I'm going to click OK, and I can't really see what I have here. Let's navigate to 3D, and I have this dormer. Notice that the wall has already adjusted to progress up to underneath the roof. That's because I had already executed that wall attached top to roof. So after I've edited the roof, that attachment is dynamic and the wall goes all the way up. All right, so that actually goes pretty quick. And so at this point, we're now ready to begin to move on to the most difficult roof, this roof over here on the right. And I look forward to doing that in the next section. We'll see you then, and I hope this is adding clarity and value.